Time doesn't ask for permission. It pulls, it bends. It drags the heart backward into the lives of those who came before. Asterisk, somewhere in the mist, between one heartbeat and the next, ... Echoes of the past begin to whisper. Asterisk, a cold wind sweeps across the Highland moors, dragging a veil of fog over the hills like a memory that refuses to fade. We do not see faces, only the world they shaped and were shaped by. A stone stands tall in the mist, ancient and unmoved, while the grass trembles at its feet. Water ripples, smooth at first, then disturbed as though touched by a hand unseen. A reflection appears, not a face, but the soft outline of a spinning wheel. It turns slowly, creaking, the wooden spokes glowing in the amber of dying light. Time is moving, but in which direction, we do not know. Asterisk, the camera lingers on a hand, weathered, steady. It lifts a piece of tartan cloth and folds it with care, setting it inside a wooden chest. A locket is placed on top, its silver worn, but its story still alive. The lid closes. Darkness. Asterisk, then, a flame. A candle flickers in the corner of a shadowed room, revealing the carved edge of a table. Letters pressed between pages of an old book. The light dances softly across the wood, catching the edge of a child's toy, a carved horse, smooth from years of touch. Footsteps echo down a stone corridor. Not rushed, not slow. Measured. Someone is coming, but we do not see who. Asterisk, outside. The sky shifts. Clouds roll, heavy with rain, but behind them stars. The camera tilts up as the wind curls through the heather. We see a single leaf break free and drift, caught between air and time. It falls into a stream, floats, then spins. And the ripples grow wide, forming the shape of a clock face on the water. The hands begin to turn. Then blur. Asterisk, a voice breaks the silence. Calm, steady, almost a whisper. Asterisk, the candlelight fades, replaced by the soft blue of early morning. Mist curls around the hills like fingers of an old story still being told. A pair of hands, gentle, strong, cradle a newborn wrapped in a faded tartan shawl. The cloth is worn, its pattern barely visible, but its meaning is clear. This is not just cloth, it's inheritance. It's a name, a history, a war survived, and a promise made. Asterisk, the child does not cry, it only breathes slow and new. Outside, the cottage, the world begins again. A crow calls from the bare branch of a tree. A horse's hooves strike mud in the distance. Life moves forward, but time does not forget what it carries. In a single drop of blood falling onto water, we see a story spread. The red blooms like ink, forming lines, then roads, then rivers across an old map of Scotland. Names begin to fade. In and out, Fraser, Mackenzie, Beauchamp drifting like smoke across time. Asterisk, inside a stone room, a figure kneels before a hearth. Only their hands are visible, calloused, steady as they unwrap an old letter, sealed in wax. The seal is broken, and a ring slips out, falling to the floor with a soft, final sound. It rolls in a slow circle before coming to rest near a book of pressed flowers. Generations apart, yet bound by the same pulse. Asterisk, we move through the silence of a graveyard, stones marked by names long returned to dust. A child's hand, no more than 6 or 7, reaches out and traces one name on the weathered stone. No one tells them to. They simply know. The name, the blood, the story, it belongs to them, even if they've never heard it aloud. Asterisk, a voice returns, gentler this time. Thoughtful. Asterisk, greater than from one breath to another, the blood calls across centuries. Asterisk, and in that moment, it is clear, this isn't just memory. It's inheritance. A thread pulled through time, still unbroken. Asterisk, the sound of rain falling on metal. Not thunder, not wind, just the quiet rhythm of drops hitting steel. A sword lies on a table, its blade reflecting firelight. Beside it, a letter, half unfolded, stained by both water and time. A hand, trembling slightly, reaches for the letter, but stops, short fingers hovering just above, as if afraid that touching it will reopen something too deep to bear. Asterisk, in the flicker of a torchlit hall, two shadows meet. No words, just a slow, aching embrace. Their faces remain unseen, but their closeness tells the story of reunion, of partying, of a love that endures even through bloodshed. A hand reaches up to trace a scar along another's arm. The silence between them is louder than any battlefield. This is where love lives, in the quiet before war. Asterisk, outside, the air is thick with the weight of coming violence. A red coat flaps in the wind. Boots march in rhythm. Flags are raised, not in triumph, but in duty. As soldiers move through foggy ground, we see only their legs, their weapons, the rhythm of their steps. And then a single rose, lying in the mud, crushed beneath a heel. The sound of it is silent, but it's felt. The camera shifts to a battlefield after the storm. Weapons scattered, a hand motionless, covered in blood, but beside it clutched tightly a lock of hair wrapped in cloth. Even in death, love is held close. Nearby, another figure kneels to pick up a pendant fallen in the grass. They pause, the chain slipping through their fingers like time itself. Back in the quiet of a home. A woman folds a shirt with care, sewing a missing button back into place. Her fingers move with memory. Behind her, a man walks in, soaking wet, hands bruised. She doesn't speak. She just places the shirt in his arms. And in that small act, war is answered with love. A voice returns, low and firm. Greater than love is forged in fire, and tested in blood. And once more, the war drums fade not into peace, but into longing. A soft beam of morning light breaks through a narrow window, illuminating the gentle curve of a rocking chair in motion. It creaks slightly, as if marking time with each sway. A pair of hands older, marked with years of work hold a needle steady, stitching a torn linen shirt. The thread pulls tight, knotting frayed edges together with quiet precision. Each stitch is a memory, each tug a silent prayer. No voice speaks, but the act itself says everything. Come home safe. In the corner of a warm kitchen, steam rises from a kettle. Flour dusts a wooden table. A child's hand reaches up toward a loaf of bread cooling on the sill, and another hand gently guides it back. There is care here, patience passed down like recipes no longer written, only remembered. These are the moments between moments where strength lives not in noise, but in stillness. A brush glides through a child's curls. The hair is wild, tangled, full of life, and the fingers working through it are firm, but kind. We do not see the mother's face, only the curve of her arm, the rhythm of her breath, and the slight tightening of her grip when a sound outside causes her to pause. Protection is instinct, woven into her body. She says nothing, but the braid she ties is both a style and a shield. Outside. Beneath the hanging lines of laundry, two women pass a bundle of clothes between them. They do not speak. Their movements are practiced, purposeful. A garment is folded, a shawl repaired, a tear wiped quickly from a cheek before anyone notices. Their silence is not empty, it is full, heavy with what they've seen, what they've carried, and what they'll never say aloud. In the forest, another woman walks with a child at her side. Her hand rests firmly on the child's shoulder. Leaves crunch beneath their feet. The trees close in, shadows long, but the child walks without fear, not because the world is safe but because she is not alone. The voice returns, gentle and fierce at once. The blood of my blood, bone of my bone, our stories stitched in silence. And the camera lifts slowly toward the sky, where clouds shift and sunlight breaks through, like a promise whispered from mother to daughter. Again and again. Somewhere in the woods, half buried in moss and soil, lies a ring forgotten, perhaps, but not lost. A delicate hand uncovers it slowly, brushing away the years. The silver is dulled, but its curve is perfect, unbroken. It rests in the palm like a question with no answer, or an answer that waits to be understood. As the ring is lifted, it begins to spin gently on the surface of a stone. Around and around. Not fast, not slow, just steady like time. Elsewhere, the moon rises behind standing stones. We see them only as dark silhouettes at first, but as clouds shift, the light spills over their ancient edges. One stone bears a faint carving, weathered but intact, a spiral. The shape pulses once softly like a heartbeat. For a moment, the wind stills. Even nature seems to hold its breath. In a study long abandoned, pages of a journal lie open. The ink has faded, but some words remain clear. He was, and is, and always will be. A breeze moves the pages. We see drawings of herbs, names of places, half sentences. The story is not complete. It never is, but it continues. Roots grow along the walls of this place, climbing over shelves, winding through windows. Nature reclaims what man leaves behind, yet somehow, the journal remains untouched. Between the roots, a candle lights on its own, its flame sudden but calm, casting a golden glow across the room. Time doesn't end here. It circles. The music begins to swell, strings and pipes, a haunting Gaelic voice humming softly beneath. Visuals flash in rhythm. The ring, the braid, the sword, the cradle, the stone. Then a final image. A circle of hands, different skin, different centuries passing the same object across time. Asterisk, a final voice. Full and echoing speaks. Asterisk, greater than time bends. Fate returns. Blood remembers. Asterisk, and the screen fades to black. Asterisk, then, with a flash of fire across. Stone. Asterisk.